Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all of you. My name is HAFIZ bin ZAIDI, and together with my group mates Muhammad AQIL bin ROSLI, Muhammad ISKANDAR Daniel bin NASARUDDin, and also Ahmad Saifuddin bin Amiruddin, we will be explaining about the topic of sustainability and management accounting. I hope in our presentation you will get a better view and understand what is sustainability and management accounting. First of all, let us go through what is sustainability. Sustainability is an approach that requires organizations to consider the interrelated impacts of their activities on the economy, the environment, and society. It is based on the concept of sustainable development, which is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable development focuses on achieving three interrelated outcomes, which is a sustainable economy, a sustainable environment, and a sustainable society. From a management accounting perspective, sustainability requires defining, tracking, and recording new types of costs. Plus, it also defines and measures environmental and social performance measures and incorporating them into a range of decision contexts, including those concerned with supply chain management and capital investment. An organization committed to sustainability is concerned with achieving positive economic outcomes, protecting the environment, and developing communities now and into the future. Now, we are going through what is sustainability reports. Sustainability reports is the report used to measure and communicate the economic, environmental, and social impacts of an organization's activities. Sustainable reports are produced by many different types of organizations, such as mining companies, energy producers like an Australian company called Origin Energy, manufacturing companies, service organizations like Insurance Australia Group, and even sometimes government entities and non-profit organizations. Sustainability reports are produced because of community concern about environmental performance, to describe how organizations are managing and reducing environmental impacts, and to communicate the outcomes to the shareholders and external stakeholders. Generally, there are two types of sustainability reports frameworks, which is, first of all, it is called as Global Reporting Initiative Framework, or also known as GRI, and the International Integrated Reporting Framework, also called as IIR. First of all is the Global Reporting Initiative Framework. Global Reporting Initiative Framework, or also known as GRI, is a reporting system that provides performance measures and methods for measuring and reporting sustainability-related impacts and performance. The GRI is a global organization that promotes the use of sustainability reporting as a way for organizations to become more sustainable and contribute to sustainable development. The GRI framework is recognized and regarded by many as the global standard. Many companies tend to seek external assurance for their sustainability disclosures in order to increase the credibility of their reporting and stakeholder confidence. KPMG reported that 78% of the top 100 companies in each country refers to the GRI guidelines in their corporate responsibility report. And for the world's top 250 companies, the rate of adoption is 82%. The GRI framework is much more than a reporting framework, as it also encourages organizations to monitor and improve their economic, environmental, and social performance effects. The fourth generation of the GRI framework, also known as the G4, was released in May 2013, and it critically points out to define material aspects. My friend Muhammad Akiz right here is going to explain about the Initiative Integrated Reporting Framework.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am Muhammad ROSLI, and I'm going to elaborate more about Integrated Reporting Framework, or should we call it as IIR. Okay, so what is IIR, or International Integrated Reporting Framework? It is a new framework that addresses sustainability. It's the International Integrated Reporting Framework that were released in December 2013 in London. It is a business right now are currently caught up in reporting that is short-term focus, backward-looking, and performed as part of a tick box exercise. This results in compliance burdens for businesses, investors not getting the right information, and capital market suffering from short-term decision making. So this is a method based on stronger dialogue between businesses and investors, known as integrated reporting, is currently practiced by major business globally. Integrated reporting is a strategic and future-oriented communication framework which allow organizations to draw on the different resources and relationship available to them, also known as the capital, to create value over time. In the next topic or next slide, I'm going to introduce the 6 types of different capital that will create value over time to the investor and to the business owner. Okay, so we're moving on to the next topic, which is the 6 capital that I just said just now. So what are the 6 capital? The 6 capital interconnect and link together. They tell a holistic and accurate value creation story of a business. These capitals are not all necessary by your organization, as they can also include those that are used. They consist of 6 important things, important key in the capitals, which first we are going through the financial. First, the financial is the collection of funds that are available to an organization or business to use to produce goods or provide services. This fund can be obtained through financing such as debt, equity, or grant, or generated through operation or investment. So, financial capital is the common thread that binds all of the 6 capital together. It is also the easiest to measure. So next we are going to the manufacture. The manufacture is the physical objects that are produced by humans that are available to an organization to produce goods or provide a service, including building, equipment, or infrastructure. If your business sells a product, your manufactured capital could be as simple as the machine that you own to produce your product. Your manufactured capital is often the tangible evidence of your financial capital, such as the head office of your company or your manufacturing stores. So the third one is the intellectual. So what is the intellectual? What it means? So intellectuals is a tangible organizational or industry knowledge, including intellectual property such as copyrights, patent, software rights, and license. This capital also includes basic knowledge, system procedures, and protocol that are unique to the own preferred or own business type. Not all business use the same thing or the same way of protocols. So in construction, but also across many industry, it is your intellectual capital that really sets you apart from other companies. It is essential of knowledge and experience that the business has, and this is what makes you unique. So the fourth is human. So human, what is human means by the capitals. So human ultimately is tough, but more specifically their competences, capability, and experience. The alignment that staff have to do the governance framework of the business. So risk management approach, ethics, understanding, and promotion of the strategy is also important here. Investing in and seeing the value of your human capital, which is supported by the strength of your intellectual capital, will ensure your stability of your other capitals. So next we are going to the social and relationship. The network of relationship and communities that your business holds, including stakeholders, investors, customers, and other groups. This is intrinsically linked to the brand and the reputation that the organization has built. Social and relationship capital is integral to your business generation and will have a huge bearing on the project that you win and the customer base that you have already gone established. So the final one is the natural. So all the renewable and non-renewable renewable environmental resources and processes that provide goods or services which support the prosperity of an organization. This could include like water, air, land, mineral, forest, and biodiversity. Sustainability is a growing focus in the construction industry, with businesses increasingly looking ways that they can have a positive impact on the environment that they work in. Analyzing your natural capital will allow you to have a clearer view of how your business interacts with the natural world. All organizations rely on various forms of capital to be successful. However, these stock of value are not fixed over time, and they will fluctuate according to a range of different factors. For example, a business will see an increase in their financial capital when they make a profit or business, and they will see an increase to their human capital when a member of staff completes some job specific training. So however, this will mean a reduction of their financial capital as they have spent money on the training. So it has pros and cons in doing and implement the sales capital that needed. Okay, now we are going to look at the benefit of reporting sustainability performance. Firstly, it will identify environmental and social changes that impact on the organization and its stakeholder. The next one, it will develop a strategy to manage risks and opportunities. And the third one is it will create innovative new products and services. The fourth one is we're going to engage in action to grow their market share. Okay, now in this slide we're going to look at the stakeholder and their influence over environmental and social practice. So first we are going to look at the customer. An increasing number of customers are seeking green product will have a huge impact on environmental. So the next one is we are going to look for the shareholders. So some shareholders value sustainability. So there is a relation related between sustainability that we have discussed just now. So the next one is suppliers. Anywhere in the supply chain, a supplier's demands for sustainable practice can pressure all preceding suppliers in the chain to adopt their own sustainable practices. In some cases, preferred supplier status may be conferred on those who can demonstrate environmental and social performance. The next one is community groups. Community groups can influence businesses to meet local needs, such as the creation of local job or restoration of the local environment. So that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So I'll be talking about the recognizing and measuring economic, environmental and social impact. So applying sustainability principle and management decision making requires identifying and managing these three performances, and those performances are environmental, social and economic performance. I will be explaining all these three performances and with some examples as well. The first performance is economic performance. Economic performance is the impact of an organization's activities on the economy that include financial measures and broader measures of economic impact. Example of financial measures is profitable-based measures and cost performance, whereby for broader measures are organization impact on the broader economy and the organization financial relationship with the government. The tables show an example of aspect performance indicators under the Global Reporting Initiative Framework, also known as the GRI framework. The first aspect is economic performance. Their performance indicators are direct economic value generated and distributed, including revenues, operating costs, employee compensation, donation, and other community investment, retained earnings, payments to capital providers and governments, and significant financial assistance received from the government. The second aspect of the economic performance shown under the GRI framework is market presence. The performance indicators for the market presence are policy, practices, and proportion of spending on locally based suppliers and significant location of operation and procedures for local hiring, and the proportion of senior management hired from the local community at locations of significant operation. The second performance will be the environmental performance as stated in the given slides. Environmental performance refers to the impact of an organization's activities on the environment, including natural systems such as material, energy, and water consumption, waste and emission in total amounts and relation to production volumes. The purpose is to numerically benchmark and quantify the environmental performance of a country's policy. The environmental performance focuses on two general objectives: promoting sound resource and performing sound resource management and ecosystem vitality, and reducing environmental stresses on humans. I will share three aspects that are stated under the Global Reporting Initiative Framework. The first aspect is materials. The performance indicators for materials is the percentage of recycled input materials used to manufacture the organization's primary products and services. The second aspect is energy. The performance indicators for energy are the initiatives to provide energy efficient or renewable energy-based products and services, and reduction in energy requirements resulting from these initiatives. For example, an initiative that can be done uses a light-emitting diode, also known as the LED light bulb, or a compact fluorescent light (CFL), a bulb that requires less energy than an incandescent light bulb to produce the same amount of light. Next, the GRI framework has also mentioned water as one of its aspects in the environmental performance. The performance indicators for the water are percentage and total volume of water recycled and reused, and the water sources significantly affected by the withdrawal of water. By doing so, the increased reuse and recycling may result in a reduction of water consumption, treatment, and disposal costs. The reduction of water consumption over time through reuse and recycling may also contribute to local, national, or regional goals for managing water supplies. The third performance will be social performance. As shown in the slides, social performance is the impact of an organization's activities on society, including the broader community, employees, customers, and suppliers. An example of social performance is providing financial and non-financial services to more significant numbers of poor and excluded people. Compared to the other two performances before, social performance has 4 different indicators that have mentioned under GRI framework. The first indicator is the human rights performance indicators. The first aspect of the human rights performance indicators is investment and procurement practice. The performance indicators for this aspect is the percentage and the total number of significant investment agreements that include human rights clauses or that have undergone human rights screening. The next aspect is child labor. The performance indicators of child labor is the operations identified as having significant risk for incidents of child labor and measures taken to contribute to the elimination of child labor. By doing so, the children will go to school and have a higher pay rate in the future and for their future children, leading to an end to the vicious cycle of poverty. The second indicator under the social performance is labor practice and decent work performance indicator. As shown in the slides, the example aspect for labor practice and decent work is employment and occupational health and safety. The core for this aspect is the total number and rate of employee turnover by age group, gender and region, and percentage of total workforce represented in former joint management worker health and safety committees that help monitor and advise on occupational health and safety programs. By doing these performances, it will improve industrial relations such as employee-employee relations and minimize industrial disputes. Next, as we can see in the current slide, society performance indicators is also included in one of the 4 social performance indicators. The 2 aspects of the society performance indicators is corruption and anti-competitive behavior. The performance indicators for these 2 aspects are the percentage and the total number of business units analyzed for risks related to corruption and the total number of legal actions for anti-competitive behavior, antitrust, and monopoly practices and their outcomes. By practicing these 2 aspects, it will lead to the satisfaction of stakeholders and they will bring benefits for the company. The 4th indicators are product responsibility performance indicators. One of the aspects of this indicator is customer health and safety. The core for the aspect is the life cycle stages in which health and safety impacts of products and services are assessed for improvement and percentage of significant products and services categories subject to such procedures. The second aspect for the product responsibility performance indicators is marketing communications. The core for this aspect is adherence to laws, standards, and voluntary codes related to marketing communication, including advertising, promotion, and sponsorship.
Hello. In measuring cost of environment and social costs, there is some costs that usually been forgotten. These costs usually are hard to determine since it is always hidden. I will explain about what are the costs that we measure and the costs that we usually overlook. The first one is the cost of waste collection and disposal. And we usually forgot about the cost of long-term to society of dumping waste. This is usually forgotten because management always tend to see the cost for a short period of time and not for a long term. Next, the cost of a control system to reduce river discharge and air pollution. But the water and air pollution as a result of lawful discharges and emissions always be forgotten. The third cause to measure environmental is cost of packaging. While the cost that we always forgotten or overlook is the cost of disposing of unneeded packaging to the customers in society. We need to know that not all customers need the packaging that the management use. Meanwhile, for the social cost, there is a cost where a compensation was awarded to the estate of a plant worker who was killed during doing their job, such as they was working in the premise of a company. There is a cost of devastating loss of employees' family and friends to the damage of the morale of the employees that always also been forgotten. And lastly, the environmental cost that normally measured is the cost of constructing a new wastewater treatment plant. And there is the cost that always be forgotten is a long-term cost that is a bad reputation because the company always dump water into the river. Thus will bring the river to a pollution and will bring a bad names to the organization. In measuring the environmental and social cost, the company might face some difficulty because of several factors. There are 3 factors altogether. I will explain it one by one. The first one is the factors. The cost is usually in physical forms. As we are all aware of, the cost of environmental and social problems is always in physical forms, and there will be no value for them. This will make it hard to determine the cost on the value that it will bring to the business. Next, all of these costs is hard to measure in monetary value, and this is also connected to the previous factors of physical forms. And the last factors is this cost will keep on changing over time. The cost of this issue will not be the same from time to time. It will change, thus it will bring some trouble for the management to determine the value of the cost. All these 3 factors does play a role to make the management determine what is the value of the cost of the environment and social factors. Now, we are here at the end of the presentation of sustainability and management accounting. Basically, sustainability involving a broader perspective on economic activities. It emphasizes to make sure that all stakeholders and the environment of the company is protected. Under the sustainability, there are 2 frameworks to conduct the sustainability strategy. The first framework is the International Integrated Reporting, and the second one is Global Reporting Initiative, GRI and IIR. Between these 2 guidelines, GRI is the most used framework since it was established for a long time, while management accounting is to supporting the sustainability strategy by analyzing environmental costs by defining, tracking, and recording new types of costs. The result